There are many factors that determine the type of worm bin that you are going to get for your worm farm. And so that is what we're going to be discussing in today's video. Hi, I'm White Davy from White Davy Garden and Worm Farm. So these are the different type of worm bins that are available, and these are some of the reasons why. These are the factors that will determine the type of worm bin that you will get. Stackable worm bins. These are ideal because they are small trays stuck on top of each other, which makes them manageable. They have good airflow, and for the most part they have a drainage system. They are aesthetically pleasing to the eyes, which means that they can be kept inside your home without it looking undesirable. The thing about these though is that they can be among the more expensive form of worm bins. Next we have the bucket system with the holes in the side and holes in the top. It's a bit messy because I just remove another bin from the top of it that I'm going to be maintaining at the moment. And what I like about these, they are not too heavy for you to move around. You just grab the handle and go. You can use a double system if you're just going to have one bucket as a composting, as a worm bin. But if you're going to be stack them, you can do like I do, where I have a single bin, holes in the top, holes in the sides, and then I have holes in the bottom, and I create space between the buckets so that the holes in the cover can get sufficient air, and then I just stack them on top of each other, so I'm saving space. So one of the things I like about using the buckets is that you can have a lot of bins in a small amount of space. And the next advantage of having these, apart from the space that they occupy, is the fact that they are cheap. So if expense is an issue and space is an issue, then you may consider using buckets. The flow-through system is, for the most part, aesthetically pleasing to the eyes. They are heavy to move about, and I've heard of occasions where they do leak. So if you're going to keep them indoors, you need to ensure that you have drainage or some way of protecting your floors. Because they're a flow-through system, the worms and the food scraps will be at the top and the castings will be at the bottom, so there's no need to be separating worms from castings with this system. It's quite easy to harvest. They are in the same price range though as the stackable worm bins. Totes are deep and can be quite heavy. They have holes in the top and in the sides, and this is a double system, so the lower tray is for catchment. You will need to have holes in the bottom as well for drainage. These are very cheap. These are the cheapest form of worm bins that you can have. These are some Marta Trays, and these are very good for worm bin. I like the fact that they are quite reasonable. The size of them, they are manageable. They are heavy, but they are still manageable. You don't require a lot of space to fit them. That's another advantage. This, because it doesn't come with a cover and it is shallow, it encourages good airflow. So those are some of the advantages. Now I use a lot of these, mostly these, for my worm farm. And with these, I do not put holes in the bottom. If you are someone who is going to be using food scraps for your worms, and you're going to be using the type of food scraps that has a lot of moisture in there, I'd recommend using a lot of absorbent bedding in it rather than putting holes in there. But if you so desire, you can put holes. The disadvantage to that is that you are going to have a catchment tray. So whether you're going to put a spigot in there to drain off the water or you're going to put holes in there, that is entirely up to you. But I like the fact that I don't have to have holes in there. It has good airflow and it is reasonably priced. So whether you're going to be using the stackable system, the trays, the buckets, the flow-through system, or whatever sort of worm bin you are, all of them can be kept in the home depending on where you're keeping them and how you keep them, what condition you keep them in. So if you enjoy this video, please subscribe and turn on your notification for more. Yeah man, a time for grow.